from the beginning of the movement was this, which is, I did. So that's what he's going to work with when we get then to here. So with all of this, you have then. And so what this does is it goes through G minor. That's all G minor. And then it's going to modulate to C minor. So we've gone from G down to C, down a fifth. This is C minor, all still A2 idea. That's still A2. And then F minor. So we went from G minor to C minor to F minor. So descending fifth, it's a circle type progression. All right, now we're going to have just two measures. And so this is going to just keep descending in the bass line. So you see how this is just going down by step here. Continues going down by step until we get to this arrival point here in C major. So this whole page is just working with the A2 idea, and it's going through a descending fifth kind of harmonic plan for the first half of it, and then you've got more of that kind of circle progression writing that is going to take you from so that was F minor to C flat, and so that took you to there. And now this next one is going to go so that took you to there, and then so to F minor, and then and now it changes chords on every beat, and that gives you a sense of, you know, momentum into the next section. So that's just going to be, and then here we are in this passage where you're developing the B2 idea. So that's working with this idea from measure 50. So that's the second, this is the second passage of the development. And this also is going to go through a series of descending fifths. So C major, it's 4 measures, and then the next is F major, and then B flat major, and then that becomes a B flat 7, and then it goes to E flat minor, and then it goes to F sharp major, which is the 5 of B minor. So all these keys, if you're analyzing this, you know, you want to write all those down. And here we have G major, C minor, Neapolitan, D flat major, because now we're going to end up this whole passage sounding like it's C minor. So this second section of the development, all of this is going to wind up then at this point right here at 142, and at that point you have then all of these G's. That's a G, that's a G, that's a G, 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 G. All of these are G's, 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 all that, all the way across G. Long passage to the recap. And so this is one of the great moments where you have this prolongation of the dominant beginning here at 142. So you should know then that that would be the retransition. And we have just this great buildup. So how many measures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 measures in the retransition. By the time he finally resolves it to tonic, you're just you know, ready for it to resolve. It really has this, you know, great release. It's a buildup in dynamics. It gets higher and higher pitch level and fortissimo, and then brings it back and pianissimo. So let's listen to that, and we're going to stop when we get to then this first phrase of the recap. Okay, so this is one of the great development sections. Okay, we're going to start down here. So G minor, G minor, still G minor, G minor. Now it's going to modulate C minor. So that's that A2 idea. Okay, going to change harmonies every 2 beats. A flat, E flat. Hear the bass line going down. Second section, developing the B2. F major, subdominant. B flat. E flat minor. F sharp major. B minor. G major. G7. C minor. D flat. 7, 7, 5, 5. Hear the E flats. It makes it sound like it's C minor. E flats. E flats. Retransition. Listen, that left hand jumps the gun. Finally back. Okay, so you're finally back to the recap there, but really, really great, build up to the recap there in that long prolongation of the dominant and that long retransition section. Okay, so now what happens in the recap? You've got some surprises here, and so you'll hear it when this is all the same. This is all the same as the exposition, but now when we get to this arpeggiation of the C minor triad, he is going to give you that whoa, A flat. Didn't expect that. And then he gives you Neapolitan. So there's D flat major, B flat. He has a little episode that's inserted. So you didn't expect any of this, but it makes its way back to C major, and then there you are with the restatement then of this, which is at measure 14. So a little episode there that starts out in E flat here and ends up on C major. Okay, so this is all just like before, and the place where it's different now is this measure right here, because at that point, instead of heading toward E minor, then this is going to shift toward A minor, and there you've got the the original transition material, which you heard at that spot, measure 23, which was this place that then was setting up E minor. Well, here it's going to set up the key of A minor, and so all of this is A minor, and then it gets the 5 chord, that E major triad, which is you're expecting it to lead, to A minor, but then just like before, he changes to A major, and there's your B theme in A major. Well, that's really unconventional. So the second key area in this first movement is something that is unusual. So we had the B theme in the exposition in the key of E major, so it's that mediant relationship, so it was a major third built on third seventh scale. And then this is that chromatic submediant, so a minor third, but then major, so A major. So you've got those, tertian kind of relationships. However, he stays in A major for 4 measures, but then right here at measure 200, he shifts to A minor, and then it modulates and takes you to C major. And there's the key that you expected. You expected the B theme to be in tonic, and now you do have the B theme in tonic. And this is now that heterophony version of it, where the B theme goes to the left hand. And everything else after that is just like what you had in the exposition. All of this is the same build up and same, trills that lead to a cadence. And now, though, since it gotten, shifted to C major, all of this is related to C major. And so this then is the passage that in the exposition labeled this as the closing theme. And so here the closing theme comes back. Now it is going to shift to C minor. So if I play for you just this progression, let me see if I can find that here real quickly. And all right, so we get to this where you have wrong key. Okay, here we are. Okay. Okay, so that does the same thing. So C major, then C minor. Well, now then he switches back to C major. Okay, then you have modulation here, and this takes you to the material where the exposition ended. So if you're remembering the way we're going to decide where the coda begins, look for that corresponding material at the end of the exposition. So here was the corresponding material. This is the end of the exposition, and where you then have the the opening of the movement, those repeated chords, that was the the repeat. And so we're looking for that spot, and so where that happens is right here. And so here he goes to the Neapolitan key, D flat major, and so he's going to develop then the A theme. A theme. It's B flat minor, C minor, and so forth. It's going to go through some different harmonies, but basically it is centered around C minor. And we get to this point. Okay, so we're going to listen to the recap. We're going to stop then at the beginning of the coda. And this is another deceptive cadence, so it's setting up F minor, but then it goes to D flat major. And we're going to stop when we get to that spot. Okay, so let's go back here and pick it up at the recap. Okay, C minor. Not expecting that. Okay, little episode. Here we go. Now, C major. Okay, so that was just for a moment a little excursion that you didn't expect. All of this is just like before. That's the extra measure there. Okay, now it's going to set up A minor. It's all A minor. So there's dominant of A minor. Oh, now it's using F sharps and G sharps and C sharps. There's your B theme in A major. That's unusual. But he changes to A minor. And it's going to cadence on C major. Now you're back in the key that you expect. Heterophony. There's the B theme in the left hand, C major. Okay, here's the B2. One measure, half measure, half measure. Okay, leading to the same trill. There's C major. Shifts to C minor. Back to C major. C major. F major. Now D flat. Okay. And that begins the coda. All right, so it's great the way that he's, still going through, these unexpected keys, but he's consistent in the way that he does this. So we have had a lot of C major, C minor. Back to C major. And then E minor for the transition, but then E major for the B theme, but then E minor for the closing theme. So we had a similar situation in the recap where, even at the end of the development where it ends up on C minor, but then this retransition is all in C major, setting up the return. So here we had this passage that starts there, which then is the retransition, and that sets up A minor. So that's all A minor, A minor, A minor, A major, B theme and A major. All of this A major. All of that. All of that. Sorry. This was the place where it went to C major. Yeah, so A minor and then C major. So all of this was in C major. Okay. At any rate, the reason I'm going through all of that is because we're going to try to explain then why the heck did he have that A flat. That's how we started out. Why did you have that A flat? Okay. All right, so this is all developing the A theme. And we get to this. This is developing the first measure, that repeated note pattern. And you're going to hear the repeated notes go down the left hand. There's that A1 idea. There's the A2 idea, A2 idea. He's going to modulate. He's going to sequence that. A2, A2. Again, he's going to do the foreshortening technique. So, these were 2 measures long. That's, 2 measures, but then he just takes this and he sequences that. And then it's half measure, half measure, half measure, half measure, half, half. And then it takes you to the 4 chord, and you have a little cadenza passage that starts out here. So all of this is based on this A2 idea. And so, very motivic movement. 164, 5/7, takes it down an octave, and then there you've got the B theme one last time in tonic. And then here's that place we were talking about. Okay, so going up, it has that and then an octave lower with the A flat, and then one more octave lower, A natural, and then final passage. So, you probably guessed it by now. All he's doing is just the same thing. He just keeps going back and forth, but between opposite modes. So, having C major, C minor, C major, having these, parallel